And now for starter 6, and the question is asking which one of these equations has an infinite number of solutions, and you need to make sure that you show your work. So I'm going to start with letter A, and I'm going to start by drawing my little lazy river right through the middle. And on one side, I can't add together 8x plus 32 because they're not like terms. You can't add x's and numbers together. So there's nothing I can do over here right now. Over on this side, I can't add x plus 4 because they're not like terms either. So now I'm just really kind of stuck. But then I notice that my 8 is sitting on the outside of my parentheses. So I'm going, and when it's sitting next to the parentheses like that, remember it means that you can use multiplication. So I'm going to use my distributive property to get this x plus 4 out of the parentheses. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 4 is 32. So on this side, I've got 8x plus 32. On this side, I've got 8x plus 32. And I am looking at it now, and I've got a variable on both sides of my equal sign. I got to get rid of one of them. So I am going to get rid of this 8x by subtracting 8x's. That's going to leave me with 32. I'm going to subtract 8x from over here because it is an equation. So if I subtract 8x from over here, got to do it over here also. So now that's going to leave me with 32 on both sides. Well, let me go over to B. So again, I've got distributive property I need to do. 8 times x is 8. Let me give myself a little bit more in here. And kind of rewrite it over here. So my 8x plus 4 is just going to have to stay put for right now because I can't add 8x plus 4 together. On this side, again, I've got distributive property. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 4 is 32. Again, I've got a variable on both sides of my equal sign. I got to get rid of one of them. I'm going to get rid of 8x over here because I need to get rid of 8x over there. So that's going to leave me with 32 over here and then 4 over here. On this one, I've got a variable on both sides I need to get rid of. So I'm going to get rid of this minus 3x. It's going to cancel. I'm going to take 3x off of this side. 8x minus 3x is 5x minus 30. I'm going to bring down my 5. So now I've got just one variable, and I got to isolate it. So I'm going to get rid of this minus 30 with a plus 30, which is going to cancel. If I add 30 over here, I got to add 30 over here. It's going to leave me with 35, and then 5x over here. I've got to undo, this is multiplication when the 5 is sitting next to the x. To get rid of that multiplication, I'm going to divide. So I've got x is equal to 7. And this x squared, we don't know how to solve that yet. This is something you're going to see sometime soon, but not quite yet. So now I'm looking at all of the things that I got, and let me see which one has infinitely many solutions. So this one right here only has one solution. X is equal to 7. So that's not it. Over here, when I end up with two amounts that are different on both sides of on each side of the equal sign, let me look back up here for a second. So this says 8x plus 32. This says 8 is equal to 8x plus 4. Well, that's impossible. You can't have 8x's plus 32 and have it be equal to 8x's plus 4. This side is always going to be bigger because you're adding 32. So this one doesn't have infinitely many solutions. It has no solutions. So now let me look here. Notice here, we're at this step right here, we're at 8x plus 32 is equal to 8x plus 32. It's exactly the same thing on both sides of the equal sign. That means that I could put any value in for x and it would always balance out. So A is the one that has infinitely many solutions.